Welcome back to the Airborne Podcast. I'm your host, Ajit. That's Big Boy Bravs. We got Thanos back on the podcast. Now, we know we traded for Goran Dragic in the sign and trade with Kyle Lowry. And we got Precious Achiuwa as the main part of that deal. But Goran Dragic, being at 35 years old, we thought would be a nice veteran to add to our roster, to come off the bench for some scoring, for some leadership. Let him do what he does because he's a dragon, right? One thing he's not going to do is wear the number 7 jersey for the Raptors because that's the gross number. That's one. 2, he went on some Slovenian TV network and started talking shit about the Raptors, saying that his agenda doesn't match ours. Ours, when we're the ones with the ring and he doesn't have one. He's had one finals appearance, so have we. The difference is we actually won. And I know people are going to talk shit in the comment section saying Golden State, if they were healthy, we would have never won. Don't matter. We have the ring to prove it. All right. My brother has the ring, but he's not wearing. Oh, there it is. All right. So we have the ring to prove it. You know, Raptor fans, they really hold that type of shit close to their heart when someone talks shit about the franchise. But all things aside, if Goran Dragic wants to be part of this roster, he can be. Or what we can do is put him in a trade package scenario and send him off somewhere he doesn't want to be. His main agenda is to get to the Dallas Mavericks, and if we get the right pieces back, we're more than likely to do so. But if not, we don't care. We'll ship him out to Indiana if we have to.
Right.
So, just like Greg Popovich did a couple years ago, Greg Popovich said he wanted to keep Kawhi, but Kawhi didn't want to stay. He's like, all right, you want to go to LA? Don't worry, I'll send you to LA Fitness in Canada. And he shipped him, right? So, you know, he's at our mercy with his contract. There is no trade clause, so we can send him wherever. So I built a few trade situations through the ESPN trade machine, and I'm going to run it by you guys, and I want to hear your opinion on it, all right?
All right, do it.
So first one I have is with the Indiana Pacers. Now, they don't really have a lot of guards. I believe they shipped out their young guard and Aaron Holiday to the Wizards.
Yeah,
they have Malcolm Brogdon, and they got Karis LeVert, who's like a combo guard, but he's more of a scorer than anything. So what I decided to do was I packaged Goran Dragic and Chris Boucher, who's on an expiring deal, for Miles Turner and Justin Holiday. I'm going to start with you. Tell me what you think.
My heart says, keep Chris, but that sounds good because I like Miles Turner. Indiana's will lean towards the Monte. I think they might lean towards him. So Miles Turner, for me, I like him. He's mobile. He's a better version of Chris Boucher, if that makes sense, right? Chris Boucher brings energy, which I really like. I really like energy. So we might lose that, but I think it'll be an upgrade from Chris Boucher to Miles Turner. And then Holiday's wicked. He's also underrated like his brother, but he's not as good as his brother, right? Like Drew Holiday. But I think he'll be a good bench piece. So I think we'll win that trade.
With Justin Holiday, he would be a solid piece off the bench as a backup shooting guard to Gary Trent Jr. I know we signed Svi Mihailuk, but I feel like Justin Holiday could play even the forward position because he has the length and the height. Miles Turner, I feel like you said, Sabonis is who they're building around, so he's expendable. I think he answers all our needs at the 5 position, being a starting center. That's, the modern day center for how the NBA is now, being able to stretch the floor, but also being a defensive presence and being able to block shots. He did lead the league this year in block shots at 3.4. He also led it in 2019. He also has a lot of history with the Raptors coming into his rookie season. Yeah, he was the 11th pick in the first round
2015
of the NBA draft. So I believe, we played him in a grueling 7-game series, so he knows that. And I know, Chris Boucher fits into more of that power forward position. That's his natural fit. And I feel like if he goes to Indiana, he could play side by side with Sabonis, do some of the things that Miles Turner does, but just more of a natural fit. But for the most part, I think this is a win-win trade. They get off Miles Turner, but they also get someone that has a similar game, but is more natural fit at that power forward position. So yeah, you tell me, Inogen, what do you think about this trade?
Yeah, I like this trade. I also agree with what Brav said based off of what he said how Miles Turner is like an upgraded version of Chris Boucher. I do see that, and he does fit the modern bigs nowadays, like shooting threes and all that stuff. So I see that fit. The one downside I see is he's quite injury prone, but I feel like with our medical staff and stuff, I feel like they could get that going and help him out, and he could be more durable than he is on Indiana. Justin Holiday, he's a great shooter. So yeah, like I like this trade. It's a win-win situation with Chris Boucher, like even when he plays at the power forward spot beside Sabonis, I feel like it would work well for him too. So it's a good trade for me.
For me, I mean, the only downside is that he's a Canadian and we're shipping him out, kind of like Corey Joseph in the situation. But the thing is, Miles Turner is a legit 7-footer, and he's a legit center, and he's very animated, very enthusiastic on the floor too. If his team's winning, he's like a Scotty Barnes. He's always screaming, yelling, all that crazy shit. It's very infectious for the team, and I feel like the fact that we've been a year and a half away from Toronto, that we're finally back in our home stand with all the fans there. I believe if we did make this trade, it would be crazy for the Raptors, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Next up, I got, if we're willing to live by Goran Dragic's wishes, if we're willing to grant it, we'll send his ass to Dallas to pair him up with Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis so they can be the 3 European Musketeers.
Give me Tim Hardaway.
I don't think we can sign him right now because he just signed a contract if we did the trade now. But the people we'd be getting in return is someone that we've been looking at for a while now, just like Miles Turner, that's been rumored to be related to the Raptors. That's Moses Brown. He would be the main piece coming back. And I think that's what the Raptors are waiting for. They're waiting for him to be available October 1st. And the other salary fillers to come with it is Willie Cauley-Stein and Dwight Powell, another Canadian. Me and my brother had a conversation about this off camera, and he asked me, how many more centers do you want on this team? So I'm going to start with you, Braz. What do you think about this trade?
I think Moses Brown, right? I haven't heard too much about him. I've seen his game here and there. So to be honest, I haven't really watched him well enough to give you my honest opinion. But that being said, I feel like at this point, I'm banking in on Khem Birch to step up if we keep Chris Boucher as him as well. And then with Precious, we should be good. So I don't think we need Moses Brown right now. He's a center, right? From what I remember.
Yeah.
So we don't really need him right now. I'm good with what we have in the sense that Precious, Chris Boucher, and Khem Birch. I don't know if all three will play the 5 or one will play the 4 and the other 2 will play 5. I don't know how it's going to work, but I know those 3 in that rotation will be, solid 4-5. So I don't think we need Moses Brown just yet.
Precious and Chris Boucher are a natural fit at the 4. Precious can play the mobile 5 if he wants, like we've seen him with Miami last season. One thing I wanted to say was Moses, he killed us in one of these games when we played them. I think he almost had a 20-20 game. Yeah. And he had multiple blocks in multiple games. He kind of has a Miles Turner game to him. The only thing is he can't spread the floor. And he's a cheaper version, obviously. But, this is a name that's been speculating when it came to Goran Dragic. It feels like Masai is waiting for something like this to come back in return, a 21-year-old prospect who is a legit center. He might be a little smaller in size in terms of his weight, but in terms of height, he's between 7'1", I think he's 7 feet or 7'2", I can't remember, but tall, lanky dude. And he's fitting that mold of what we're trying to bring into our roster, and that's positionless basketball, even though he probably strictly will play this center position, but, he's those tall, lanky dudes that we're looking for.
I don't really like this trade just because of the fact that we're getting 3 centers in return. Like our front court's going to be too crazy. Yeah. But I do like the addition of Moses Brown. I don't mind it because of the fact that he's 7 feet tall. He's a little bit skinny for his position, but I feel like we can work with that. Dwight Powell, he's Canadian, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so that's that's a great addition. He's going to get that crowd booster. Willie Cauley-Stein, I don't know where he's going to fit on our team. I feel like we're going to ship him off to another team or waive him. I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm kind of iffy on this trade. I'm not sold on this yet.
Yeah. Trust me, if I could have made a different salary filler with other players, I would have done it. The last thing I want is 3 centers like this on our team. But the problem is, I don't think the Dallas Mavericks are willing to part way with the 3-and-D guy like Dorian Finney-Smith, or a power forward who can stretch the floor and play some decent defense in Maxi Kleber. He's from Germany. He's got that Dirk Nowitzki roots. He's got those Dirk Nowitzki roots. I think it's close with Luka Doncic, so I don't feel like that would happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for that trade. The next trade I have for Goran Dragic, this is something that might drive you guys crazy, but this is the only one that made sense in terms of salary matching. And that's sending up Goran Dragic and Fred VanVleet to the 76ers for Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey. Bravs? No?
So I shook my head right away just because I'm not ready to give up Freddie. Also, I don't want to give up Freddie for Ben Simmons. I feel like that's a disaster. I'm happy with Freddie. I want him to be our go-to number one option. Ben Simmons, the thing is though, like I've been seeing a lot of highlight videos recently of his jumper being more improved.
It's the same thing. It's the same shit you see every year.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it's like getting a little better, but still, you're an elite player. Your expectations are here, but you're performing here, right? So I'm not ready to give up my number one option for number 2 or 3, because I'm sure OG and Pascal will have it over. This trade is denied.
He's been dropping the same shooting mixtape for 5 years now, but at the same time, a lot of people, when we're talking about a Ben Simmons trade, they're like, "Why do we need him? We have that in Scotty Barnes." But you know, he's done it in the NBA. He's been a year in, year out defensive player of the year candidate. And I feel like the Philadelphia 76ers, it was their fault that he's, you know, become this laughing stock in the NBA in terms of his game. I feel like they played him at the wrong position from the get-go.
Yeah. They suck.
I feel like if he played the power forward position or a center position, because he's the same size as Kem Birch and Pascal Siakam, I feel like he would have been able to flourish way better. And I think if there's a coach in the league that can use him at his fullest ability, it's Nick Nurse.
Yeah.
And I do think another trade that I think would have been possible, aside from this one in the trade machine, is a direct trade for Ben Simmons for Pascal, straight.
Ben Simmons for Pascal?
Straight, yeah, straight.
That's a risk, but I don't mind.
I mean, he's younger. I mean, him, Miles Turner, they're all 25 years old, so they still got time to grow. Energy, what do you think about this trade?
I wouldn't do this trade, to be honest, but if it really did come down to it, I wouldn't mind it, because I mean, the two players we're getting, Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey, those guys are pretty solid players.
Yeah,
is it Tyrese Maxey?
Yeah, Tyrese. Yeah, just the fact that you said Tyrese.
This is second year, right?
I'm Tyrone.
But Ben Simmons, those two players alone, I feel like if we got those two players, Maxey would. You think Flynn would start, or do you think Maxey would start?
I think Flynn would start.
Flynn, they have more trust in him right now.
Yeah, so Flynn will start, and Maxey will come off the bench. Ben Simmons, I would honestly take the chance on him. Like, he needs a new scenery. Our whole development squad and all that stuff will help him grow as a player. And hopefully he'll get his jumper shot. So I don't mind it, but I wouldn't do it. Because if we add Ben Simmons on our team, we're not really going to get that much shooting in the starting lineup besides Flynn, OG, Siakam. I don't know where his shooting's at right now.
Gary Trent.
So, yeah, Gary Trent. No, but like I'm saying starting-wise, just all we have is Flynn, OG, and Kem Birch.
No, I'm saying if we trade for Ben Simmons, Gary Trent will still be in the starting lineup.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. So Gary Trent as well. So
Tyrese Maxey is a big F right now. I just put him in there because he's a clutch client. And I felt we heard rumors for a while now saying that they want him out of Philly too. But then other people came out and said that he wasn't part of the deal or didn't want out from Philly. So I don't know what the situation is with him. Ben Simmons definitely going to be out of there. But Tyrese Maxey, if the Raptors did a deal, this would be the perfect thing. Because
if you're telling me if it was going to be Ben Simmons for VanVleet and Goran Dragic, that's not happening.
Fuck that.
Like, that's not happening. You'd have to add Maxey into the straight robbery.
I think if
let me give you a Charizard and I'll give you a Pikachu. Like, fuck that.
The thing is, if there's a culture and a fan base and a coach that can take in and mold these players into their fullest ability, it's Toronto.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
100%. I agree.
If you put in the work, the Raptor fans will let you know. If you play like ass,
let you know too.
Yeah, if you play like shit, the Raptors will let you know. But yeah, that's the trade to Philly. You guys in the comment section, let me know if you guys agree or disagree. And obviously, we all have our opinions on this podcast. Next one is to Sacramento. There's been rumors about Pascal Siakam, Sacramento Kings being thirsty for Pascal Siakam because they're trying to make a push for the playoffs. They haven't made the playoffs since 2006, so they'll do anything right now. So Ben Simmons, Pascal Siakam, those are names that they've been rumored with. But if they do get a chance to get their hands on Pascal, we would be shipping Goran Dragic with Pascal to the Kings for Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley III, Tristan Thompson, and Davion Mitchell. And Nugent, we'll start with you. What do you think about that trade?
I love this trade just based off the fact that they have Mitchell on that. Just seeing his summer league performance. I know it's just summer league, but like the way the man played defense, bro, that's something we need on our team. That's our motto. Like defense is the main thing for us. He'd be terrific on our team. Tristan Thompson was another guy I mentioned in the past videos. Like when we needed a big man, he would be great to have on our team. Buddy Hield would be a great shooter alongside Gary Trent, but he'd be coming off the bench. Marvin Bagley, I don't know where he stands just because of the fact that we have Scotty Barnes on our team. I'm pretty sure that we're going to have Scotty Barnes. If Siakam leaves, Scotty Barnes is going to be the power forward for our team. And I feel like Bagley would come off the bench. So I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on Bagley, but I mean, I don't mind it. But the main player in that trade alone for me that's intriguing is Mitchell. Like I wanted Mitchell on our team since time.
His defense is A1, bro.
His defense is A1, bro. Like he's gonna be crazy.
You got a couple of
sorry.
No, sorry. Yeah, he'd be a good fit, you said, right?
No, I say Mitchell will fit our defense culture. You were all about defense. I think he'll fit.
Yeah.
He won multiple defensive player of the years in college. If you see highlights of him, you see him locking up Cade Cunningham, who was the number 1 pick in this past draft. And Pritchard, he was going off in the summer league, but he went up against Davion Mitchell in the championship game for the summer league, and he shut him down to 6 points. So, like, he's very Patrick Beverley-like in terms of being annoying on the defensive end, but he actually plays defense, unlike Patrick Beverley.
Yeah, that lineup would be crazy too. Like having Van Vliet, Mitchell, OG, Scotty Barnes, and then Precious.
Mm-hmm.
That's nasty.
100%.
So yeah, I'm down for that trade, though. I'm down for that.
Rabs, agree or disagree on this trade?
Wait, can you repeat who we're repeat the trade again? Who we losing?
So we're giving up Siakam. We're trading Goran Dragic with them to match the salaries, or just to get him out of here, basically. But in return, we're receiving Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley III, Tristan Thompson, and Davion Mitchell.
Yeah, so I think I like that trade too. But the thing is, I just don't know where Marvin Bagley is now these days, right? Like he had really high expectations, right? Coming in, people thought he would be future All-Star, like people thought he'd be sick, but he's been injury prone and like doing his own thing, like being quiet. So I don't know, like if he can live up to expectations that everyone has set, we hit a gem. But again, in terms of this trade, I'm okay with it to go forward, but I'm just kind of risky on Buddy Hield. Fucking Marvin Bagley, sorry.
I think
too, but whatever.
Buddy Hield would be a solid backup to Gary Trent Jr. Marvin Bagley, I think he just needs an environment reset, a culture reset, and I think he'll be fine when he comes to Toronto. Usually, any person that comes to Toronto nowadays doesn't have an issue because they're beloved all the time. Tristan Thompson would be like an insurance policy if he remains on the roster. Yeah. If Ken Burge can't go, and Davion Mitchell would basically be an insurance policy for a player side Malachi Flynn in the second lineup,
Yeah.
Second unit. But yeah, that's one trade. Another one with Sacramento with the same guys going to the Kings and Goran Dragic and Pascal. We'd be receiving Davion Mitchell, Buddy Hield, and Harrison Barnes instead of Marvin Bagley and Tristan Thompson. So what do you think about this one, Bravs? If you don't want Marvin Bagley, this is another trade where if we trade Siakam and Dragic to Sacramento, in return, instead of Tristan Thompson and Marvin Bagley, we're substituting them for Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes is good. He hasn't been the same since leaving Warriors, but he'll be a good shooter that will fit. When he was in Mavs too, he was sick. But I just think that he will fit the missing piece of Kyle Lowry missing in terms of shooting, and I think he'll bring that leadership from the Warrior days. So I think that's good.
I think with Pascal going, he would be a good replacement for either the 3 or the 4, because either you'll move OG to the 4 or you'll put Harrison Barnes at the 4. They can go vice versa depending on their nights. Buddy Hield, like I said, solid shooter. Coming off the bench, I think is a valuable piece. And Davion Mitchell, we know he's a stud and he's going to be a future defensive player of the year candidate for years to come.
Yeah.
So this final trade with Harrison Barnes, you guys are both a thumbs up, or?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Either one is fine with me. Like I'm cool with either one. As long as Mitchell's a part of the deal.
But would you be okay with the veteran like Harrison Barnes, who's kind of close to his 30s, or would you want a Marvin Bagley as a prospect? The reason why I'm asking this is a lot of people are putting a lot of pressure on Marvin Bagley, and they're putting
a lot of pressure.
A lot of negative thoughts on him as well because, he was a number 2 pick in the 2018 draft. He's been injury prone for most of his young career. And anyone drafted before Luka Doncic is going to get shit on. So
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd probably go with Bagley, to be honest, just based off his age.
Harrison Barnes wouldn't be long term. So.
Yeah, Harrison Barnes would just be there for a couple years, maybe a year, and then he'll
he's a salary for
yeah, and also no, it's just I don't want it to ruin the development for Scotty Barnes. I want to see Scotty Barnes play a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
If Pascal is gone, I want Scotty Barnes to get those minutes because that guy should be a stud.
Yeah. Okay. Any final thoughts about the trades before we wrap this up?
I'm good to go.
Goran Dragic, whether you decide to stay or go, it was good while we got to know you. If you're a Toronto Raptor this upcoming season, at least for a little bit, we're definitely going to root for you because we root for our home team all the time. But if you're not there, good luck to you and your future endeavors. And hopefully you get to suck off Luka in the future. but on that note, appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't liked the video, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to it. What are y'all waiting for? Stop slacking, bro. And we're going to keep it rolling with this content. But till then, stay blessed, stay woke, and please stay safe. Peace!
Yeah, 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 yeah. The price I want for sure you gon' need.